Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Shenandoah Esports broadcast live from Shenandoah University's Esports Arena. Tonight, we are going to watch the continue of this road to playoffs with an intense match between our Shenandoah Hornets and their opponents, the University of Delaware, in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm Isaiah, and tonight I am joined by Ja. Ja, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty excited to get back to casting some Smash Bros. And, watching Shenandoah go at it once again.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, we've had our history with the Smash Brothers team. We were both members of the first Academy team here, but I haven't had a chance to actually cast Smash other than VHSL just earlier in the year. So I'm kind of excited, too, to get back to this.
Yeah, I got to cast pretty recently, I think like last week, and just watching them, especially from this side, is a lot different from, playing. But genuinely, I'm ready to see what they throw out, see what SU is able to pull off for us tonight.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at the standings over here in NACE for the Hornets. So the Hornets are going up against the University of Delaware. Both teams 3-2, but because of the way NACE prioritizes games and standings, Shenandoah, although tied for that third place, is currently fourth. So it's a pretty big match between these two teams.
Going in and, kind of looking at the stats and where Shenandoah is placed, like you were talking about, we're kind of right smack dab in the middle. And, this big match can be the deciding factor as we roll into looking at our head-to-head. So we can see both of them extremely even, the same amount of series won, same amount of series lost. Almost everything on that board is close to being the same numbers, and I'm curious to see how that translates to the games that we see tonight.
Yeah, now I will mention that Shenandoah and Delaware, they do have quite a history. We got a little sneak peek at some of the characters, which I will bring up when we get over to the rosters, but as you see there, head-to-head, games won for Shenandoah 8, games lost 4, having more games won and less games lost than Delaware, but still evenly matched. 3-2 is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, and as we see, very evenly matched, like you're talking about, and the win percentage, even just that couple of percent disparity means so much to the team. But going in, now we can kind of talk a bit more. I know you mentioned you kind of already know what Delaware's going at, but let's take a quick look at their starting roster. So we got MPG, Taco Man 7, Mudkip, and Animated EJ.
Yeah, now I've heard rumors about the MPG who he's coming in as a Mega Man, or that's what our team is expecting at least. And I know I've been told by our team captain here at Shenandoah that he is most likely going to be the toughest threat they have. He's placed well in majors, one of the best Mega Man players you've got, and they actually have the history of MPG almost 12-stocking, taking all 4 members of Shenandoah's team on alone, almost single-handedly.
Yeah, especially for Shenandoah, this is going to be kind of they're trying to get their get back, going into that with the Mega Man and seeing who can take it. So let's take a quick look at Shenandoah's starting roster. So we have Eyes, Kip, Willie, and Waneblade. And, I got to see a lot more of Waneblade when I had casted the last week. So I'm, happy to see him coming out and showing more of his skill again on that Pikachu.
Yeah, now we know they're a diverse roster, and they each cover different weaknesses, but we know we've got the tried and true Kip Dexter on Pac-Man. We all love it, and we've got to watch out because that Willie Kazuya, if it makes an appearance, it's going to be a pretty intense match between these two teams.
Yeah, Willie he's always shown that if he wants to end a game fast, he will take your stocks and move on to catch that momentum for Shenandoah University. And that's what I'm most excited to see is how they're going to best deal with that Mega Man who in the past really put SU on that back burner.
Yeah, but on top of the Mega Man, we should probably mention some of the other characters Delaware could bring into the pool. So, Animated EJ, Shenandoah is expecting a King DDD or a King K. Rool, although from the stats they found, he doesn't have a win on those characters. It's a 0% win rate, but there's also Mudkip, who could potentially lead to a Waneblade Ditto because Mudkip plays Pikachu. Pokemon fan to Pokemon fan, it could be intense. It might just be who played Pikachu longer. And then Taco Man, they only have VODed history, but they're expecting a Sonic out of Taco Man tonight.
This is really, the lineup you're kind of reading out to me has been a very interesting team lineup, possible DDD, and honestly hearing a Mega Man. Not many people go out and play Mega Man at a major or even in NACE. I mean, when we competed, no one was playing Mega Man. So that could be a pretty big knowledge check for Shenandoah with dealing with a fighter that they don't often see when they're playing.
Yeah, and I know Mega Man as a character himself, for those that don't know, is more of a zoner / trapper. So he does want to stay away from you, but he's also able to trick you into falling into the moves that he needs to confirm the kill that he's looking for on you. So Shenandoah probably going to have to watch out and play it a little safer if they do see that Mega Man, knowing how much of a threat to their game he can be.
I mean, yeah, Mega Man especially also has a lot of weird delays in his moves. You know, I'm thinking a lot about that down air that doesn't come out at the same time as everybody else's, and that hitbox of the fist keeps traveling downward. I'm also wondering who, SU might throw out first, or wondering, will we actually see this Pikachu mirror, or will it move on into playing Wayne into a different spot?
Yeah, and then it could be intense. I mean, we know character tier-wise, for those that aren't aware, Sonic, they don't have much history on him, but Sonic in a tier list is generally rated very high. Most players, if they're playing Sonic, they know how to play Sonic to a point that unfortunately, you're getting run at by one of the fastest guys on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic is just real good. Like a lot of the tier lists, like you were talking about, Sonic is always placed at the top. And when you have someone who is already strong as a character, followed by someone piloting him really, really well, it can run through you really easily, no pun intended. But, a good Sonic player utilizing all of his good frames, abilities, and moves all at the same time can be a really hard time playing against him.
Yeah, now, for those that may not know, or maybe it's your first time tuning in, just to remind, we are in NACE on the way to playoffs, but the format for NACE is it is a best of 3, 12 stocks on each side in this crew battle format. So you've got 4 players that'll come in 3 stocks, and first one to remove the others will bring in. It's almost like a Pokemon battle. You think about it that way. Once you've lost 3 lives on the first guy, you're going to send out your next one, but whatever the health or the stocks that your team is at, they have to keep that. So if I eliminate I eliminate 2 of your players and I lose 2 stocks, and I've got to fight the next guy full health, but I've got 1 stock left to do so.
Yeah, and a lot of the times with this setup, it allows players to kind of come in with a clean slate. I could finish a game at 100%, but going into that next game, as long as I win, I go right back to 0 just with the same stocks I had. And, that could be a really big momentum thing for either team. If their team is able to snake out a win at 300%, that means everything. You come in and you do it right again. And kind of with that Pokemon battle format, as my fellow caster was talking about, just you're then able to choose who is best fit to go in next to deal with this situation. But that's where we'll see a lot of the counter picks coming in. So, like, say you're playing a really stubby character, or, well, we'll flip it around since I play Mario. So if I'm playing Mario and your team has someone with a big sword like Cloud, then you're most likely going to send Cloud in to beat Mario because Mario does not have the same range. So I'm curious to see if Shenandoah will use any tactics like that to put people in the best fit situation so we can win easier.
Yeah, now I know our viewers can't see it, but I was watching from the screens that we have here, and I saw it looks like Sonic and Pac-Man are going to be coming in to start the game. So what could we kind of expect to see there, knowing how much pressure Sonic can apply?
I personally think that it's going to be an interesting match because, as we've seen, what our Pac-Man player is able to pull off and do, Sonic kind of needs to be in your face. He's like, doesn't have any range, no projectiles. It's fully has to be on top of you to do damage. While Pac-Man can do a lot more range in keeping him out. And that's usually just a counterplay and its own thing where you have somebody who kind of needs to bash their forehead into the wall to hit you versus someone who has the projectiles to kind of stop you from doing that. So maybe we'll see the Sonic maybe through the game have to play a little bit slower to get around all of those projectiles.
Yeah, but I mean, counter-argue Sonic, I mean, it might not be accurate for Smash Brothers, but I don't think Sonic really likes to do slowing down, right? I mean, we all know Sonic, he's an iconic character, he's gonna run. And I think, if anything, those spin dashes where he comes into that ball and he comes charging at you, they'll set up Sonic. But, like you're saying, Pac-Man having those projectiles, especially that bell, that's able to stop Sonic in his tracks, literally, and set up Pac-Man for whatever kind of hit he wants to do, could pose a potential threat to Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to take a lot of safe playing. These two characters can very easily call out each other. And, Pac-Man, with how Kip is able to play, likes to make sure he cycles through, goes grocery shopping and figure out what he wants from his neutral B. But, Sonic could run up and stop it, Waiting to see which one he wants isn't always the best option when you have somebody that's going to run in and hit you, and then you have to reset and do it all over again.
Yeah, now, I know Pac-Man, though, we got to talk about that trampoline, right? His up B. When we see Pac-Man doing that, he's got those 3 jumps, so even if Sonic gets that pressure off the stage, Pac-Man is not the easiest to keep off the stage because he can enter what I'll call classic Pac-Man and eat his power pellet to zoom back to the stage, or even use that trampoline to keep himself out of danger's way because he's a little invincible. You can't really stop the classic Pac-Man. He's just going to munch. I mean, he's hungry, bro. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, I mean, both of these fighters have really good off-stage mobility. Neither of them really going into special fall all too much with the case of Pac-Man after hitting the trampoline a few other times. But enough of me talking a lot about Pac-Man. You're going to see it happen as we move in to Game 1 with, like we talked about, the Pac-Man and the Sonic.
And immediately here on Pokemon Stadium 2, we see Sonic immediately trying to pressure Kip's shield there. Pac-Man not willing to give up that shield, placing the fire hydrant to keep Sonic out for a bit while Pac-Man does what you said, his grocery shopping.
Yeah, and Kip is already straight to playing his game, making sure that Sonic has to essentially sit there and watch him go to the store, and he gets to pick out whatever he wants to use in that situation.
Yeah, Pac-Man already dealing 16% damage, taking an early lead here in the match, and already shopping again. Looking like Galaga is going to be the favorite go-to right now, keeping Sonic in a bad spot as Sonic starts to counterattack, dealing a quick 7% to Pac-Man.
Yeah, and I mean, as we're seeing, it's very... Although Kip has the lead, it's still pretty even. Very early, both of them are playing extremely safe. Taco Man not really able to find the best places to get damage in, while Kip is taking the chances to get the quick punishes in and running away. And once again, back at that Galaga, he just can't get out of the store.
Yeah, Sonic at 49% already, looking for something to set himself up against this Pac-Man. And we see the spin dash to get a quick 21%, but not enough. A 39 off the back air from Sonic, starting to apply more and more pressure to Pac-Man. Pac-Man getting out of there with his side B to slow down the pace of this match yet again.
Yeah, this match is a lot of pace control. Who can keep the other waiting and seeing who's going to make the first big mistake, because that's essentially what's going to start happening as these two fighters get closer and closer to 100%. Whoever messes up first gets the big punish and will eventually lose that stock.
And we see Pac-Man out there reading the roll, using the bell to try and stop Sonic, and it works enough, but doesn't get the second grab he was looking for. Got an apple in store, watching Sonic spin dash on his shield. Sonic dangerously at 105, very close for a Pac-Man KO. The bell missing again, as Pac-Man still looking for that kill he wants to take in this first match.
Oh, and the key coming right out to take the first stock. Just watching this it's been pretty slow, and although we've got a Sonic on the screen, these two fighters are really keeping each other at bay and not throwing out too many huge moves that'll leave them in end lag and cause them to take a lot more percent. But going into these next few stocks, we see Kip still at a brisk 56% on his first stock.
Yeah, holding Galaga, threatening the Sonic to approach him so he can set his own combo of Pac-Man, already having Sonic at 22, still shielding everything, a double forward air to knock Sonic up to 35. Sonic using any spin dash he can, but the fire hydrant will connect, sending him to 49%. And already Sonic trying to find another opening just to deal a little bit more damage to Pac-Man.
Yeah, this fire hydrant is a very big hazard to the Sonic. We've seen Kip use it kind of as like a fake wall. We saw it a little bit earlier in the match where he was able to press Sonic up against it while he was still laid on the ground. And it's, like I was saying, it's coming to be just a really hard obstacle for the Sonic to get through.
Yeah, Pac-Man now approaching the 100%, just trying to keep the Sonic out, using the key to knock the fire hydrant immediately into Sonic, and using the key again, sending Sonic to 87 and off stage. Sonic looking for something, but this fire hydrant is seeming to be Sonic's worst enemy as the bell hits, but the forward smash won't connect for the kill there.
Ooh, that was close. That kind of had my stomach in knots, just waiting to see, like, oh, is this going to be the stock taken? Kip still first stock 100%, really holding on as strong as he can, and the Sonic is just kind of running around, playing a little bit more, I wouldn't say desperate, but really trying to see if he can snake in and sweep the stock before he has his taken.
watching Pac-Man run away from Sonic like he's one of the ghosts, but Pac-Man not afraid this time. He says, I've got power-ups waiting, using the key to knock the fire hydrant away. Both players up at 100% at a minimum, looking for that next stock to see it could go from either side.
Yeah, and I mean, now we're just waiting to see who's going to throw out their big kill move first to take the stock. And it keeps going back and forth. Back air is coming out, but whiffing, getting chopped out. Fire hydrant back out. Kip is once again shopping. When does he leave the Walmart?
The fire hydrant flying at Sonic. Sonic not sure what to do, watching out for any projectile, as many of them from Pac-Man will spell doom for Sonic stock here. The orange able to connect to knock Sonic up to 127. Spin dash going in for a forward air. Sonic looking to connect something. Back air misses, and Pac-Man using that trampoline to get to the ledge.
Yeah, percents are getting higher. These offstage battles get scarier and scarier, putting them in tech situations. The key almost taking the stock, but Sonic just has the right DI to get out of it.
Using the apple to knock the fire hydrant up, still keeping Sonic out, flying the key. Sonic's using the shield, but it's looking at dangerous shield break scenario here. Kip just watching to see what Sonic wants to do, waiting to react, as you have to against someone like Sonic Fast, a fast character, and just, here we go, on the ledge, and the up smash from Sonic will take Kip's first stock, now tying them 2-2, but Sonic still at 157.
Yeah, this is a really scary point to be in for Sonic. Although he got that stock, Taco Man is now left in the situation of, okay, I'm at almost 180%. Just about anything can take my stock. You know, now we're at the point is, how best can he hold this stock? But Kip says no, takes the down tilt, steals that recovery, and takes the next stock. 2-1, Shenandoah is up.
Shenandoah still leading, and we see Galaga already getting in Sonic's way yet again. Sonic is at 9% early on his last stock here. Pac-Man using the fire hydrant to add some mobility of his own against this already fast and agile character that we're seeing from Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic is really seeming to play it a bit more safe here. You know, Kip has really been able to hold him out and punishing a lot of these aerial abilities, and Sonic is really just having to deal with all of the fruit and all of the Galacas coming out, but guess it doesn't matter as he goes in, fire hydrant, back out again. These two are really going at it now, opposed to what I was saying earlier when they were playing slowly. Big moves coming out, big back airs, just doing whatever they can to get this damage in.
Sonic able to run up and grab Kip to deal some damage off that throw. Up smash not able to connect, but the forward smash will, sending Sonic into the blast zone, giving Kip the early lead here for SU, up 11-9.
I mean, yeah, we saw Kip take that stock really perfectly, and you know, he guessed that Sonic's wake up amazingly well to seal out that game.
Yeah, now things we didn't mention about Pac-Man is that when he's using his shopping list, we'll say, and he's sitting there holding B to figure out what he wants to do, right? You have to be careful, because if timed well, like that bell that we're warning that the Sonic has to watch out for, or the key, they are able to be caught by Sonic or by the opponent. So although very advantageous for Kip and Pac-Man, also a double-edged sword, because if they get caught, it could extend the combo of your opponent.
Yeah, it's really scary getting hit just about whatever Kip has in that shopping list. I mean, we saw every time Galaga came out, those two hits came in, and he's already jumping and grabbing again, just trying to loot them as best as he can to take those stocks. And we see he does it rather well and uses it to pressure very perfectly and play his game the entire time.
Yeah, now, I don't know about you, but the mental game that I think that fire hydrant that Pac-Man was using played a really big part. Sonic, like you said, having to watch out for basically an additional wall on the battlefield and not being able to really do much about it. Has to jump over it or roll through it, where Pac-Man is waiting, and we're actually already headed in to the next match, and it seems that we are going to have Pac-Man versus Pikachu now as Delaware's next character.
Oh, man, this is honestly such an interesting matchup. You know, I often don't really see things like this, but you know, going straight in, Kip taking his one stock. Let's see how these two play out, these first stocks at this early percentage.
Fire hydrant already getting in the way. Kip able to run up and grab Pikachu out of his shield, using that fire hydrant to cover his landing. And Galaga already in store, keeping this Pikachu out. Pikachu not quite sure what to do, taking 58% already, getting in with T-Jol, but up B to get Pac-Man out of danger and deal some slight damage there to Pikachu.
Yeah, I mean, we see now Kip is really taking the lead in the fight. I mean, he took that momentum in the beginning, and he was going so long. It got him up to 66%. Fire Hydrant back out once again, shopping, jumping over the T-Jolts. It seems like Kip doesn't care. He needs to fill his shopping cart, and it doesn't seem like Mudkip can do much about that right now.
Pikachu hitting that back air, dealing some damage there. Kip getting the bell, but it doesn't connect, not stunning the Pikachu, who is ready and waiting, sorry. And the orange flying, dealing damage. Pikachu's off stage at 84% in a dangerous situation, trying to use the Fire Hydrant to launch the bell back to Pac-Man. Pac-Man taking some damage as Pikachu starts landing a massive combo, keeping Pac-Man trapped. He's stuck in the forward air, but falls out of it, and unfortunately ending Pikachu's combo.
Yeah, that was real scary there. Pikachu just had all the right calls with that combo and almost was able to take that stock in the end. But Kip was just barely able to wrangle out, and now, once again, playing full stage against this Pikachu, jumping over the T-Jolt, sending out this Fire Hydrant. Not really able to do much with this neutral B while Pikachu was holding on to the item, but Kip doesn't care. He's going to put the Hydrant down. He's going to go back to the store and keep shopping for what he needs to take this stock.
And it seems that Pac-Man is planning to use this bell and holding on to it to see. Uses it, launches, and uses the Fire Hydrant to take Pikachu's first stock while holding on to his own with 114 damage on him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure after that stock, Kip must have been smiling just a little bit to call out Pikachu like that and then throw the bell and take the stock. One of his staple KOs. It's really something that needs to be watched out for if you're on the opposing team.
Yeah, using the Fire Hydrant to cover Gallica there to get in the way of Pikachu's advance there. Pikachu already taking 48, 59, 74 quickly after 3 hits from Pac-Man. Kip showing that forward smash is ready and waiting with Pikachu's name on it, keeping that Pikachu out using the Fire Hydrant while he does that shopping. He finds the key to his car, but it doesn't connect there on Pikachu.
Yeah, and as we see, Pikachu's really honed in on making sure all of these things are out. But, oh, the up smash just barely misses. That would have spilled a lot of disaster. But, you know, right with the bell, once again, when does he stop?
That bell able to land. Forward smash, not able to get it. The dash attack getting the kill sparks there on Pac-Man, but not enough as Kip is able to protect himself from certain doom there, using the up B to safely get back to ledge. Pikachu grabbing Pac-Man, going for the up throw, but it's not enough as Pac-Man comes back to the stage, but the dash attack will taking Kip's second stock here in this match.
Yeah, these quick little battles and skirmishes at high percent is really, really difficult for either team, given a lot of characters in Smash Bros. The second you hit over 100 has the perfect way to take the stock and win by a certain combo. And as we saw, Pikachu was really fighting for that and was able to seal it out with that strong dash attack while Kip was at 100%.
Yeah, Pac-Man quickly taking 38 damage, but Pikachu not very safe as there's 97 damage waiting, and the bell has made its return. Fire Hydrant, gotta go shopping, right? Pikachu trying to just use this Fire Hydrant against Pac-Man, but Pac-Man knows what that Fire Hydrant can do and using it to approach his own opponent. The bell, but not able to call out for the kill. Pikachu now sitting at 106%.
Yeah, that was just an absolutely insane poke. But the bell, once again, forward smash, just almost survived with DI there, but was not enough as they go in. Almost even Kip a bit higher in percentage, but you know what? When the chips are down, all you can do is fight back.
Yeah, Pac-Man having to battle back, having 65% here on his last stock, but Pikachu having to play it safe because it is also his last stock as he quickly takes 46% from Pac-Man. Pac-Man almost immediately tying up the score there. Kip looking to set up his combo. The bell just threatens Pikachu, drops it, not getting anything. Pikachu rushing in to deal some quick damage, knocking Pac-Man up to 77 damage.
Yeah, Kip is really using his knowledge of his own character here. You know, you see Pikachu going for the Fire Hydrant, but Kip just knows exactly how much damage, how many hits he can take before he gets sent flying, and is using it against his Pikachu, who's trying desperately to stop it from being used. But as we saw with that combo that had happened a bit earlier, doesn't matter what Pikachu does.
Yeah, Pac-Man sitting at 113. Dangerous situation. Pikachu attempting to forward smash, but the get-up attack from Pac-Man will save him. And the bell and a forward smash to immediately turn the tide and take Pikachu out. Kip hanging on to one stock with 113%.
I mean, that's insane. You know, Kip has now taken 6 stocks by himself. You know, can't stop this train is what is probably getting said around with them in the arena right now. But, you know, like I said, when the chips are down, all he can do is fight back. He goes into the next match with just 1 stock, but right back at 0% as we slowly head into these replays. And, man, just these two fighters were really going at it, but the bell always comes in and takes the KO in the end.
And that play right there, just throwing the bell and then using the Fire Hydrant to say, hey, I'm here now, and immediately forward smashing. We saw Pikachu was struggling. He was racking up damage, no problem, but had to find a missed attack by Kip in order to take a stock. Meanwhile, Kip says, here, I'm going to go shopping. You see this bell? Boom. You're hearing these bells ring as I knock you out. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I mean, just watching how Kip played this entire time, you know, there's times where I was like, oh man, is this it? You know, when he recovered and almost got hit by a forward smash. But, you know, like you were saying, the bell always comes out, always happens. And, you know, Kip doesn't play. He gets those stocks when he wants them.
Now, I've been informed that the next character Delaware is sending in is going to be King DDD. Now, this is a character that Pac-Man's going to have to play a little more safe with his items, right? Because DDD has his iconic inhale from the Kirby series, and he can use that to send the projectile right back at Pac-Man. So now, going to have to play a bit more safe here on Kip's side because those projectiles aren't always going to be the option to respond to DDD.
Yeah, I mean, with the way we saw how Kip plays, it's going to have to take a lot of playstyle changes, you know. You were saying it a ton, just to reiterate, you know, that inhale from DDD can change the tide of everything. You know, if he sends the Fire 100 out at DDD, he can inhale it, send it back out stronger and faster than when it came out. So it's going to take a lot of safe playing, and maybe even on the DDD side, a lot more call-outs of what Kip's going to do next.
Yeah, and I mean, if Galaga comes out and DDD gets a hold of that, it resets Galaga and allows him to do his own 2 hits, like we were saying, able to get the combos off of an opponent's projectile as we head into round 3, still sticking with PS2 as the map of choice.
I mean, yeah, gentlemen's the PS2. You never know. You know, just going back to the comfortable stage, not too much going on in the background. You see Kip is putting his stocks down the 1, and we're getting straight in. Let's see how this one goes.
Yeah, and quickly, DDD using his side B to apply pressure. Unfortunately for him, Pac-Man's Galaga made its appearance already, hitting away the Gordo, and Pac-Man immediately racking up damage, putting DDD in a quick recovery state. Not enough, but DDD already sitting at 54%.
Seems like Kip must have been mad there. He really wanted to take that first stock to just push out all that momentum he can get, you know. He's down 2 stocks just naturally, but the forward smash hitting and bringing them close to even stocks.
Showing that this DDD showing, looking for that early kill here on Kip and Pac-Man. That bell making its appearance almost sets up the perfect opportunity there, hitting the Gordo away again. This DDD using that Gordo to try and set something up, but it's not enough. We see Bell in hold. The Gordo hit by the Bell. Kip using that to his advantage to apply pressure. Stuns DDD. Gets the down smash, but doesn't get the angle Kip is looking for to take this first stock from DDD.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't matter. He goes in, turns around, and says, hold this back air for me, and takes that stock, bringing SU up just a bit more.
Ooh. This Galaga using it to quickly rack up damage. DDD already on second stock and quickly at 41%. Kyle able to keep this pressure on using the Gordo, knocking it in to a DDD every time it is sent out. Galaga setting it up and immediately responded to DDD at 59. Fire Hydrant goes flying off of DDD side B there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm noticing at least a lot more aggressive but calculated play from Kip, but that forward smash just almost takes it there, but let's see how he reacts to what's coming next.
That forward smash, DDD using the dash attack that is deadly as ever, finally taking that last stock off of Pac-Man. Now forcing Shenandoah to send in their second player, but Delaware already down 2 and a stock in this match.
Yeah, I mean, whatever game plan it was, I think SU probably executed it really well, sending Kip in to try and keep that momentum and even then get information and take as many stocks. You know, when you're down the 1 stock, you kind of have to be like, all right, need to hold the stock, need to take as many stocks as I can, and also, how does this person play in terms of what's going on? But we see these replays here, and it was just so unfortunate that that down smash did not give the angle that he wanted, but right into that back air.
That back air, still deadly. DDD was sitting at 157, couldn't do too much about it, but immediately that dash attack, it hitbox just being so long and able to just kind of slide at you for a bit, unfortunately caught the recovery there by Kip and taking that last stock off of Shenandoah's first player.
Yeah, I mean, that DDD dash attack, it's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, this is so slow I can react to it, until it's happening in your face and you're like, I feel like a grandpa, like how did I not react to what just happened?
Yeah, now on our end, seems that we are sending in Wayne Blade on Pikachu into King DDD. Now, from what I know about Pikachu, I don't know too much about the character, but I do know that that's a heavy character and it's a big target. And as we saw in Pikachu earlier, he's looking for combos, and DDD is a pretty big target to be missing hits on.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy for these two to go back and forth, but the thing that DDD does have over Pikachu is just the amount of damage and how light Pikachu is. Wayne Blade is able to go in and get these like real quick combos off 4 damage, but it takes him just a bit longer to kill, unlike DDD, to where if he forward smashes Pikachu at full strength at about 30% at the end of the stage, that could be a stock in a second.
Yeah, but here we go. Heading into the next round, DDD does have to take 1 stock as he lost it to Pac-Man there, but as we see, he returns, both players taunt, and they are ready to go. Immediately, we see T-Jolt from Pikachu applying pressure to DDD, sending him at a weird angle, an almost very dangerous angle there for DDD.
Yeah, and I mean, we see Wade Blade's iconic Pikachu Libre out to fight, getting these forward airs off stage, just trying to see if they could gimp out what DDD is going for to take a quick stock. And as we see here, Wayne Blade has yet to take damage.
Wayne Blade using the T-Jolt to knock the Gordo right back and use it as his own combo extender. DDD landing 1 hit to get 15%, but DDD also sitting at 94% already, and a quick Pikachu back air to knock him up to 103, putting a lot of pressure there on DDD, who is caught by forward air, and Pikachu just looking to catch him off the stage for a quick, cheeky up smash.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne is really trying his hardest to make sure he takes his DDD out, as now, since he is at 62% against a heavyweight like DDD, just about any strong move could take his stock.
Yeah, that up tilt there from DDD to knock Pikachu into the air. Now Wayne Blade having to play it safe, still using T-Jolt to counter that spike, the Gordo, and immediately just sending DDD flying. DDD trying to find a way in, but Pikachu just keeping the pressure on, using a neutral air there to try and deal some quick damage and set some sort of kill move up for Pikachu, which won't be easy because of how heavy DDD is in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, but I think Wayne Blade is playing really well in terms of just sending these Gordos back like homing missiles at DDD. You know, a lot of the times to where he like goes band for band with it, wow, it's getting sent right back and doing damage. But the up smash coming out and taking that stock.
Yeah, DDD able to take a stock. Wayne immediately responding there with a forward air of his own, not enough to kill the DDD, who is now at 200 off the dash attack, taking that stock. DDD down to 1, looking for a way out, but Pikachu immediately applying the pressure, putting DDD in a combo where he quickly gets out, only taking 29 from what could have been life-threatening.
Yeah, those bread and butters, especially against heavies, work so well. And with a more combo character like Pikachu, who's looking to catch you in these chain back airs or these throws into Nair, is something that I'm sure Wayne Blade is really trying to do and really trying to show off with this larger target.
This T-Jolt looking more like a stage hazard to DDD. He's not really sure what he wants to do as his moves are getting countered. Wayne Blade immediately putting that DDD at 98%. That deadly dash attack doesn't land as T-Jolt gets in the way. Wayne playing it safe, knocking Gordo away, waiting to see what this DDD wants to do. T-Jolt, T-Jolt, T-Jolt. We hear Pikachu just sitting there, almost using Thunder as much as Sora would like to in his own Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Blade is really using these T-Jolts to cover his landings. You know, when we saw with that dash attack, that was terrifying. That forward smash would have taken that stock easily, but how we saw with that dash attack, using the T-Jolt to cover his landings, just so maybe when he lands, he can catch a quick hit to take the stock. DDD up at 150 now, still taking a lot of time for the feed. The dash attack almost gets it. 168 now. Let's see how far it's going to take for him to have his stock taken.
DDD looking for that kill on Pikachu to at least take another stock, but Pikachu applying the pressure, using forward air, and it's going to be enough to take DDD's stock, knocking Delaware down to their final player, while Shenandoah still has the advantage in the stock count.
Yeah, and I mean, that's probably a really stressful matchup, especially for Pikachu, given being a lighter character versus a heavy. Just like I said earlier, anything could take you out at about 60%, and then you are forced to either play safe or take the stock as fast as possible. And as we saw there, Wayne Blade was really able to play right between the two of controlling his landings with T-Jolt, but then going right in to try to secure the kill when he was able to, and that was able to put Shenandoah up once again.
Yeah, I mean, Shenandoah showing this round 1 immediately, showing just how strong they are, ready to come at their opponents and even wait and just think about what their opponents might want to do to them. But now I've got to ask you, Ja, there's one player we haven't seen yet, and it's the one we talked the most about at the beginning. We haven't seen Mega Man. Do you think they use Mega Man, or will they send in a surprise character that Shenandoah is not ready for?
I'm feeling like they're going to send in this Mega Man and see what he can do to take him back when the chips are down. Not all the time you want to like surprise somebody with the last person. If you got somebody comfortable who can take stocks and flip the game upside down, then why change when you can just send this person in and be like, all right, go and do that. Let's get this done.
Yeah, and many may not know how much strategy you have to think. Like the Pokemon battles, you can't just send out your ace and assume they're going to wipe the floor with the enemy team immediately, right? You don't want to... Ash didn't always send Pikachu out first because he knew Pikachu would be needed later. Just like Delaware here, looking to kind of surprise Shenandoah and say, well, we haven't used him yet, and our secret weapon, who poses a threat to your game plan, has been waiting and he's been watching. He studied Pikachu, he studied Pac-Man, so he's already got 2 of Shenandoah's players that he's gotten to see how they're planning to play this match tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a really scary situation, especially with Shenandoah, as they're going in now with the counter pick of whoever that Delaware can send out, but also with stage bans and stage counters, seeing where this Mega Man, hopefully if they send him out, where he can put them to kind of secure these stocks. And Wayne Blade is going to have to do his absolute best to adjust to whoever they send out to hold on to his 2 stocks that are left.
Yeah, and we saw Wayne Blade there using a lot more zone, using the T-Jolt to kind of use that as a way to get in for his attacks. But against someone like Mega Man, who's also going to be like, well, I'm going to stay over here, but I can also set this up to take you out. Well, that's something that Wayne Blade's going to have to watch out for, as we see in this last match here just now. Currently, Mega Man will be the character coming in for Delaware.
Yeah, and Wayne Blade going down, taking that 1 stock off so they can go and start the match. And I don't know. Personally, I'm very nervous. I don't often see Mega Man, and usually when people play Mega Man against me, I'm really confused. I'm like, how do I win? How do I beat you? But these 2 are just straight going at it, back and forth, damage is happening. Wayne Blade is taking a lot of extra hits right now and is up at 43%.
Yeah, Mega Man taking the early lead there, using the Leafs to just deal some crazy damage there, keeping Pikachu stuck, almost waiting to see how Pikachu here wants to respond. But Mega Man using every projectile in his arsenal and just moving around, almost similar to moving like a Sonic, but not as fast as Sonic can possibly do it.
I mean, yeah, the way you think about it, both of them could be a blue blur in a different way, with how this Mega Man is jumping backward and controlling the space, and also utilizing the fact that he's just slightly floaty enough in the air to hold a bit more spot, as he has Wayne Blade up at 83%.
Yeah, Mega Man only at 26, using his version of Shoryuken to take a stock here off of Pikachu. Pikachu now down to 1 stock left. Mega Man still has all 3, and with a low percent of 26, really putting Wayne Blade here in a bad position, as he only gets him up to 35, and immediately Mega Man equalizes that and knocks him up to 42 in response.
Yeah, this Mega Man is really playing the win here, making sure that MPG is keeping Wayne Blade out, but also doing damage and then returning back to his safe space on stage, but Wayne Blade able to get a tech chase.
Yeah, Mega Man using that down air to knock Pikachu into the stage, using forward smash to try and keep him off, using the back air, deadly 3 hits, but it's not enough to take Pikachu out of the match just yet. Pikachu still has a chance, watching out for any possible kill moves while sitting at 106%. Mega Man using side B, neutral B, forward smash to shoot Pikachu flying again, but it's not enough, as Pikachu's at 135, and that back air will be enough. No stocks lost by Mega Man, but Wayne Blade now eliminated in this first round.
Yeah, and as we saw, that downward saw into the back air was just an insane play, knowing exactly what combo is going to take him out. And as we all know with a lot of characters, back air is one of the strongest aerial moves that they have, if not the strongest a lot of them have. And just throwing that out after getting a combo like that to seal out that game was just, in some ways, amazing, but unfortunate for Shenandoah, as we are now down to 2 fighters, Eyes and Willie.
Yeah, now, I don't know about you, but one of my favorite things, complete side note here on Mega Man, is when you see that up tilt, or what I called the Shoryuken, it's actually surprisingly a lot stronger than many may think. It doesn't look too strong because he's not from Street Fighter, so you wouldn't expect that uppercut to hurt too bad. But Mega Man, against a light character like Pikachu, if he lands that and Pikachu's damage is high enough, Pikachu's just got to be like, well, I might as well have just played Ryu or Ken because that hurt.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the biggest things to watch out for, especially on Mega Man. Oh, and Hearing Eyes will be coming in on Corrin today.
Huh. Now, I haven't watched the Smash team much, but last I knew that Eyes was playing Palutena, but Corrin was a character that I kind of started picking up because I play Sora, and Corrin, I compared him to Sora, but just not as floaty. No Disney magic to Corrin. So I'm ready to see the combos that Corrin's able to generate because, as many could say, Corrin, it's up air and dream. You land that, you're set up.
Yeah, Corrin has, especially in the early days of Smash Ultimate, was a pretty strong contender in a lot of the tier lists. And, once again, one of the characters that you don't see a lot of. And Hearing Eyes switching from that Palutena to the Corrin is also a pretty big change. You don't get the same Nair loops. But, as an avid Fire Emblem lover and Corrin coming from Fire Emblem Faces, which was my first Fire Emblem game on the DS, I just can't wait to see what Eyes has in store and to show us what that, I think they call it the Yato in the game. The saw sword. Mm-hmm. I just can't wait to see what happens.
Now, I think the only disadvantage that I could obviously stay here for Corrin is that Mega Man's got a gun. Corrin's got a sword, but Mega Man has his blaster and all of these projectiles to keep Corrin out. Like we were saying, it's going to be pretty difficult for Corrin to approach, and I'm just wondering how Eyes is going to respond to all of these projectiles coming at his character.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that Eyes could probably do was utilize that sword range. Now that they're on Palutena with the kind of the short staff that was really good for Nairs, has a full-length sword with its own hitbox to take. And as we go in, seeing they have been brought to Hollow Bastion.
One of my favorite maps as an avid Kingdom Hearts player, but early on, Corrin able to deal some massive damage, knocking Mega Man up to 33. Mega Man quickly able to respond and using up air to deal quick 44 back to Corrin as a little revenge tour there for the damage dealt early in the match.
Yeah, and as we can see, Eyes is really trying to play away and play it safe. A lot of dash blocking, shielding, just trying to get through all of these projectiles, as you said. Probably one of the things that's going to be the biggest issue within this matchup is getting in. But this Mega Man going in, chaining these up airs, trying to take quick stocks.
Yeah, that side B able to catch the bomb. Corrin out far from the stage, and there's a nasty setup there from Mega Man using side B to set up down air to take Eyes' first stock. Immediately quick damage off the up air because that tornado is dealing some massive damage here for Mega Man against Corrin.
Yeah, and as we see here, this Mega Man is really, really coming out to play here. You only see combos like as a fighting games player myself, when I see combos like that where that side B into the down air off stage, that's like a Twitter, a TikTok combo, as they say, something you don't get to see as much. But he was ready to show me again with that down air, just barely missing, but Eyes coming in to take just a little bit more damage and fighting hard to take a stock off of MG.
Yeah, Mega Man already using the tornado to just keep everything away from Corrin's chances of an advantage. Corrin getting the down tilt in the up air, but isn't able to set up the combo as Mega Man retreats after getting launched and just getting shot. Corrin not sure what to do, sitting at 106%, knowing to shield, getting some quick damage in, but having a hard time finding an opening as Mega Man keeps him out using all of these projectiles.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to become a real issue with that back throw, trying to take this stock. This Mega Man is really going in and holding Eyes at a spot that he wants him to, and then taking that stock.
Yeah, Mega Man able to catch his saw and use the leaves to set up a back air to take another stock here off Eyes. Mega Man at 92, still on his first stock, looking to end this one quickly to find that last player in Shenandoah, but using the projectiles again to play in the head of Eyes. Eyes one stock left, looking for that opening, tries a forward smash, and it connects on the shield, but doesn't get what Eyes is looking for.
Yeah, Eyes was starting to get a little bit desperate there out of Halo when they dropped down, going straight for a forward smash, just trying to do whatever he can to take this stock off, to put Shenandoah up. Lands a side B and it sticks, but is not able to secure the kill.
Yeah, Mega Man using the side B there to keep Corrin out, make sure nothing can happen there. Eyes still looking for this kill, needing to take at least one stock to better the plan for Shenandoah, but Mega Man keeping his distance as the zoner he is against Corrin, who needs to get closer to deal more damage and set up the combos that they're looking for.
Yeah, and I mean, Mega Man must have good knowledge on this character, the way that they are keeping Eyes out and holding them in place, just really taking these stocks again and again, and Eyes just doing whatever he can to try to secure the stock, but gets hit with a spike. MPG still up 3 stocks, pulling us down to our last fighter, Willie.
Yeah, now, we talked about it at the beginning, but this Mega Man showing that he is not he's not a player nor the character to mess with. Like we said, you don't see many Mega Man players online, and here we are, Mega Man already eliminating 5 stocks now off of Shenandoah, now tying the series 3-3 in just round 1, showing that Mega Man is a character to be feared tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like you were talking about Pokemon earlier, they sent out their ace, and so far, without fail, he has ran straight through Shenandoah, but we are seeing if Willie can come in and clean up as he usually does for Shenandoah University.
Yeah, now from what we're seeing here in the booth, it's looking like we're about to see the iconic Willie Kazuya. Now, Kazuya into Mega Man, it's going to be another tough one. Although Kazuya does have a reflector kick and is able to send these projectiles back, he's still, like any classic fighting games character, he needs to be up in your face. And Mega Man, he says, I don't really want to be that close to you. And when you see Kazuya, nobody wants to be that close to him.
I mean, yeah, you know, if my father threw me off a volcano, you know, I would come in this match. I was pretty angry too. Going straight into the game, cannot wait to see. You know, Willie plays fast stocks. Let's see if he's able to pull that out for Shenandoah tonight.
Mega Man already keeping his distance and dealing a quick 22 damage there to Kazuya, or Mega Man dealing a quick 22 damage there to Kazuya, looking to see what can be set up there. Kazuya trying to find something, but Mega Man is just running away, keeping Willie out, making sure that nothing lands. Willie looking for that approach to start something off.
Yeah, I mean, the way we're watching MPG play, he has went in and watched all of those VODs, or has at least played against Willie before, because going around that Kazuya, just jumping around, making him play a game of cat and mouse, and right now it is not looking too good, as Willie just not able to secure any damage with the way this Mega Man is just running from him.
Yeah, Willie already taking 68% blocks, but immediately activates the Rage Art there for Kazuya as Mega Man knocks him up to 117 and still hasn't taken any damage of his own, using the saw quickly to back air and take the first stock off Willie. Shenandoah now down by a stock as it increases the lead for Delaware to 1 stock.
Yeah, that 0 to death was just lethal, just running circles around Willie. But Willie here able to sneak some damage in, hopefully taking that momentum of at least getting a hit in, but just not able to catch this Mega Man, who's playing not very scary, but just playing away, but catching an electric and, just barely getting his staple bread and butter.
Yeah, Mega Man using his dog there to get out, catches the saw blade and immediately back air catching Willie. Willie at 65 while Mega Man sitting at 35. Down air spiking Willie into the stage and already trying to find another electric, but it's not enough while Mega Man just keeps running away. Says, I've got the range to play against you. And there's forward air to knock Kazuya up into Rage Drive. Side B dealing some extra damage. Mega Man trying to ledge trump there to do another quick back air kill on Willie.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this Mega Man is really adept in going in and sneaking kills with either his back air or the infamous down air that sends that fist down. And Willie just still fighting so hard to catch Mega Man lacking and gets hit with a forward smash while climbing up from ledge. Shenandoah down with Delaware up 3 stocks. Shenandoah at 1.
Just that forward smash catching the get up there from Kazuya, just sending him flying. Almost saying that your stocky is mine right away. Dealing quick damage with the leaf bracers, calling out the side B. Back air, uses up B, but Mega Man not following up there. Kind of drops the combo there. Immediately responding with the leaves. Trying to ledge trump, looking for a quick kill here to try and take this series. Willie's able to stall out his recovery there, but Mega Man waiting and ready on the get up.
Yeah, this Mega Man is just really controlling everything off stage. I mean, just the way that he's making sure Willie cannot recover, having to go for different options. Willie back in Rage Drive, seeing if he can secure something. Mega Man almost catching that forward air off of the up smash. Goes in and takes it. And MPG comes in and reverse sweeps Shenandoah to take the first game for Delaware.
Yeah, it's just like we were saying at the beginning. Mega Man, both the last player coming in for Delaware, MPG there, showing that sometimes those sleeper picks of a character are the ones that you've got to watch out for, because the way that in all 3 of the fights we saw from Mega Man kept his opponent away, saying, I don't want to fight you yet, and then immediately changing the pace, saying, now I'm ready, but it's too late for Shenandoah to respond, as Mega Man has sent them flying already.
Yeah, I mean, this Mega Man was doing pretty well in holding Willie at bay and forcing Willie to play what's going on. But I think it's time for us to wait for this next game to come in and see what Shenandoah is going to do.
Yeah, no, that was a great first round there. Both sides, unfortunately, not in Shenandoah's best performance that they want to put on. But there will be more action here shortly. I, unfortunately, will need to step out. But you're going to be joined by a special friend of mine named Mossman, who's ready to continue the action. So don't go anywhere, as we will be right back.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Shenandoah University Esports Arena here in Winchester, Virginia. You might be wondering where the other guy went. He's off to find the One Piece. I am here with Ja. Ja, how are we doing? How are we feeling?
I am feeling pretty good. Watching that previous game, seeing Shenandoah go down was a little bit hurting to the heart, but I'm excited to go in and see how they kind of take that feeling and reverse it back and come in swinging for this next game.
Yeah, I mean, if you were watching the first game, anybody that's still here or maybe new, just tuned in, unfortunately, Shenandoah kind of just got wiped by one guy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see if they send this Mega Man in once again when we get that far. That Mega Man came in the very end as that team's ace and just went on a streak, taking stocks over and over again until they were able to put themselves up above Shenandoah.
Yeah, and second best Mega Man in the world, correct?
I think so.
I believe that is the second best Mega Man, not in a collegiate, not in America, in the entire world. There's only one Mega Man ranked higher than this player, and I believe that's Peanut. If anybody watching knows Peanut, really good player. So if that puts things in perspective for you, then you know what Shenandoah is currently dealing with. And what do you even change here? Like, how do you got to get a little scrappy, I feel like.
Yeah, getting scrappy maybe, but we saw in the end, if you were watching and if you go back, Shenandoah just really tried to send Willie came in that Kazuya, but that Mega Man was really playing a lot of defense and jumping around a lot and making Willie run to him. But we are hopping straight into the next game. We've got our first match with Kip and Pikachu.
Yes, Pikachu coming in for Delaware, and I believe that's going to go ahead and be Mudkip. So we have Kip versus Mudkip. Pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, starting the match off, Kip is already quick. going shopping like I was talking about all the time, straight in and trying to secure some early damage, and he's already doing it with him up at 54 with this Pikachu quick to come in and is really evening out the stock.
Yeah, a lot of damage onto both players very early on. Kept looking for a forward smash, not going to find anything there. Going grocery shopping once again. Throws the bell, doesn't hit anything there. Going to have to go shopping once again. Throws down the fire hydrant to get some space here on the Pikachu.
Yeah, and as we learned, this Pikachu really, really hates that fire hydrant. I mean, anytime it's out on stage, Pikachu is running toward it, hitting it, making sure that Kip isn't able to use it for any of his setups.
Yeah, and he hasn't really been able to get anything too big so far. Both players, though, getting a lot of chip damage here and there. Pikachu sitting at about 85%. 95 due to that fire hydrant just falling on his head right there. Bell being tossed over his direction. Going to dodge it, at least for now. Fire hydrant gets sent back towards Kip, who sends some fruit over Pikachu's way. Gets shocked there just for a second. Fire hydrant down on the ground. No player really able to get hit too big of a swing so far.
Yeah, I mean, as both of them enter kill percent, it just gets really terrifying to see which big move is going to come out of nowhere and take your stock. And so we're seeing a bit more defensive play from the two of them. But, you know, if that fire hydrant hits either of them, it's game over for their stock. The key coming out and almost taking it, but with careful DI, the Pikachu is just barely able to survive. Yeah. But down smash on the stage, Kip said, I heard you, stop talking.
Yeah, I was about to start talking, and then Kip just threw that down smash down and just boom, stock gone there for the Pikachu. Kip, though, sitting at 83%, trying to avoid taking big damage, wants to keep all three stocks going into the next fight. Hopefully able to, a little whiff there, but sends down the fire hydrant, try to keep some spacing. Gonna run back on over to it to avoid some electricity, but gets hit anyways. Now sitting at 118%, getting a little bit dangerous here for Kip.
Yeah, Kip is just really doing what he can to hold onto the stock, and this Pikachu is just throwing things out, trying to see what's going to kill. The dash attack almost taking it as we saw it used to, but Kip is just able to survive with his DI and keep pushing to hold on to his stock for Shenandoah.
Yeah, and trying to put the fire hydrant down again for that spacing, but the Pikachu does not care. Going to send it back his way. Shield up there for a second, and it's going to lead to a stock loss there for Kip. Now both teams even here at 11 stocks going into the rest of this game.
Yeah, the dash attack came right out once again. A pretty useful kill move for Pikachu, going in at above 100% to take a stock. Pikachu getting the throw off again, trying to get an offstage combo to hopefully solidify just anything going on and to see if he can get a stock early.
Yeah, right now, Kip going grocery shopping, as we've been mentioning so far. Two shields going to dodge all the attacks right there. Nobody takes any damage at the moment, both sitting at around 30 until Kip now taking a throw and a whole lot of damage. He's now sitting at 70, looking to get back on stage. Pikachu edgeguarded a bit, throws up a shield to take any of that, make sure he doesn't take any of that damage from the fire hydrant. A couple fruits being thrown out. Kip going grocery shopping again, does not find anything, and the Pikachu is going to get some hits in on him right there.
Yeah, Pikachu is just really trying and fighting as hard as possible to kind of, once again, take this stock and put Delaware back in the lead, although they are even. Kip up at 80%. Any stray move could take the stock. Pikachu going in, trying to get the Thunder to spike down and take the stock, but Kip says, not this time. I'm going to go shopping again, and you're going to watch me do it.
Yeah, both a bell and a fire hydrant goes Pikachu's way. Both miss, though. Now going to throw Kip off the side of the stage. Both players looking to get back on, and a huge thunder there from the Pikachu is going to take the second stock from Kip, who's now looking to try to even win this one-on-one instead of just like we were talking about earlier, trying to keep all three stocks. Unable to do that. Now sitting at 1, and however, Pikachu at 101% so far.
Oh, and a smart play from Kip, but just not able to solidify the stock, using the water from the fire hydrant to push Pikachu into the bell. As we see, Kip is a very crafty fighter coming in with the bell. Once again, I guess I should stop talking with how quickly he is just able to refute any claim that I have made.
Yeah, gets that stun, leads to a stock taken there for Kip. Now, though, getting hit into a combo, gets thrown into the ground, now gets out of it just for a second, but in the air, off the side of the stage, both players trying to get back on. Kip gets back there first, gets good position to get some more damage here onto Pikachu, who gets hit with an apple, and a combo back at Kip. Shield up, fire hydrant up, gonna hit the Pikachu, who's looking to get back on stage. Galaga being thrown, and that's gonna lead to a little bit of a combo there for Kip.
Yeah, that Pikachu was quick to put Kip right into a blender there, trying to get as much damage as he can. Kip going shopping again, trying to see if he can get that bell, which is so notorious for sealing out games.
Yeah, gets a lot of stocks off that bell. Now both players kind of at a stalemate. Don't know what to really do because nobody's really getting any damage recently. It's a lot of chip damage, and Kip just going to slide his way on over into some attacks there from Pikachu. But the apple getting thrown is going to do some decent damage there as Pikachu sitting at 160%, trying to play a little slow, trying to play the spacing game here as he knows any hit can take him out of nowhere. A kick is going to send him off the edge of the stage. A bell is going to keep him from climbing back up, but now gets back up there, sends Kip away from the other side of the stage.
Yeah, Kip is really trying to get a crafty plan to take the stock, but this Pikachu is really gets hit in the face with an apple and is sent flying to the top blast zone. Kip is able to seal out the first game for Shenandoah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a huge play there from Kip at the end to keep that last stock, but unfortunately going to lose two going through that, which remind me if I'm correct, you know, I wasn't here to cast that one, but did Kip, how many stocks did Kip lose the first round? Because these guys faced off in game one.
If I remember, I think Kip lost one, and then he proceeded to go on I think around like 6 stock run, and then got stopped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Pikachu playing a little bit better that time around, and it shows as Kip is going to lose 2. Now Shenandoah up 10 stocks to 9 here with Delaware going into their second fighter, which we assume might be just be the same player as it was in the second spot last game. Probably won't say the Mega Man because, I mean, second best player in the world. You're just going to probably have him at anchor.
Yeah, I mean,
keep him there.
Yeah, so there's a chance, you know, we could probably see the DDD coming out. There's a lot of maybe different options that they can go, as they do have 2 other people aside from this Mega Man to send out, you know. You never know who they're going to play if they're switching up the tactic, or if they're just going to follow the same pathway and have Shenandoah deal with the same people in the same order.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next question. If we just got word that the DDD is the character being played by the next player from Delaware. I think that's going to actually be, if I take a look at my notes here, just an animated EJ here coming in on the DDD, which I'm assuming will be loading in here in just a minute. But just to highlight while we're waiting, like we mentioned before, both teams technically tied at third. Delaware, I think, placed currently higher because they have less game losses, if I remember correctly, but both teams have already qualified for NACE playoffs. Wait. I think getting close. I think this win is actually what's needed to qualify for NACE playoffs. I can't remember if it's 4 wins or 3 wins. I'll get corrected here in a second, but it doesn't matter because we are getting ready to head into this next matchup. 3 wins. Okay, excuse me, 3 wins. So both of these teams have already qualified. Right now, we're just trying to play for a higher seeding, which this is the team we're tied with, so we'd probably just swap places if we win. Hopefully. If we lose, we'll just stay where we're at.
Yeah, and as we see, familiar matchup to Kip, as, you know, when Robot Ninja Isaiah was here earlier, going in and talking a lot about how DDD is able to inhale a lot of Kip's projectiles and send them back, but not doing that all too often, as Kip is just right on top of him, doing all of this damage in the beginning.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, Kip has a lot of reps against King DDD because I think there is a player from one of the Florida schools that he's pretty close with, and they play DDD all the time. So he has a lot of reps, knows the strats that a lot of DDD players usually come up with to, you know, thwart Pac-Man.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing that, you know, Fire Hydrant getting hit. Kip still shopping, does not care what is happening on the other side of the stage, and is watching only his character throwing that bell and trying to get a quick kill. But with DDD being a heavy, it is just that much harder to finish off.
Yeah, as we see, they're going to jump right in front of Pac-Man, take some more damage. Fire Hydrant just barely dodged, and he's going to block that bell. Gets thrown back the other way, but not the second throw, as Kip just catches it and then throws it a second time, and is going to be able to stun him there, send him flying, and take DDD's first stock.
Yeah, I mean, that bell is so iconic for Kip, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he would change his gamer tag to just Bell, because that does so much work for him and takes so many stocks for Shenandoah.
Really does, and the catch there obviously leading to that stock. Great plays there out of Kip, but now he's sitting at 107%, and he has only 1 stock left. However, DDD now in a bad position, has to try to get back up, just goes ahead and floats above the center of the stage, drops down. Now both players at a stalemate with that Fire Hydrant in between them. DDD trying to find a way closer up to Pac-Man, tries to use a spike, doesn't get anything out of that, gets stunned again, and Kip takes another stock here.
Man, that I had said it, but that bell just works so hard, and Kip knows exactly how to use it, how to seal out stocks. I mean, we saw the stock be taken the same way, but this juggle combo going in, and Kip saying, I'm at 100, so you should be too, and is really fighting to seal out this stock to keep himself in the lead.
Yeah, tries to use that bell again, but that gets null and voided, and now he gets a throw there on the King DDD, who's going to send a spike over his way. Another bell, got to watch out for that one. However, King DDD gets a throw. Now Fire Hydrant place, spike coming over towards Kip, and a stun from Kip onto the DDD. Almost takes the stock, but DDD going to find his way back onto the stage.
Yeah, I mean, as we see, Kip is quite looking to go 3 for 3 here on these bell kills, and is really fighting hard, getting a throw in, trying his best to seal out this stock. With these two at such high percent, it could be anyone's game, anyone's hit, anyone's stock in the next few seconds here. You never know what's going to take it.
Yeah, a spike into a Fire Hydrant is going to ricochet it back into DDD. EJ looking for a way in, trying to get closer to Kip, but those projectiles keep him away. Now Kip going to jump over the spike, and unfortunately takes a hammer. However, he's going to get back on, at least close to stage, now onto stage. Going grocery shopping, looking for an apple, gets it, now throws it back at DDD. That spike and that Fire Hydrant now present on the stage, and a projectile is just going to send the Fire Hydrant into DDD and sends DDD flying off the stage, and EJ loses their last stock, and Kip keeps his.
Yeah, this is huge for Shenandoah. Kip has now gone through 2 people and has held on to his 1 stock, and that was a really hard game. But as we saw, Kip sat there and let his opponent play with the Fire Hydrant, and then threw a key down the way and said, catch this. And unfortunately, DDD did not have the percent to survive both the key and the Fire Hydrant hitting him at the same time.
Yeah, unfortunate scenes there for EJ. As we go ahead and take a look at some of these excuse me. No, we're not. We're not going to take a look at some of those replays. Oh, my goodness. Having a little bit of technical difficulties. I believe the computer is dying. Might want to get some IT people in on that. That's not very good. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and just talk about I assume they're just going to send in their player that isn't Mega Man, which I believe is going to be Mudkip was the first player. Taco Man 7 on the Sonic.
Yeah, Taco Man really showed with that Sonic, but now finally getting into replays as we see Kip once again, throwing that bill around. 2 stocks taken almost the same way on different sides of the stage. Just absolutely insane plays with that bell into the DDD.
Yeah, and just the projectiles there killing DDD, because DDD, can take a lot of damage and stay alive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's because of how heavy DDD is in terms of the game. So, however, just getting hit by the projectiles and just losing the stock off of a stun every single time.
Yeah,
can't avoid the Fire Hydrant, can't avoid the key, and then obviously the first 2 stocks being taken because Kip catches his own bell that got ricocheted back at him. Because I think the DDD parried the bell.
Yes.
And then sent the bell back at him, and then he just caught it through it and stunned him and then got him. But we are done talking about the DDD because I was correct. Not that it's that hard to figure it out, but the University of Delaware has sent in Taco Man 7 on Sonic.
Yeah, we saw Taco Man 7 last time against Kip and was just not able to play at the same pace that Kip was forcing him to play at, and unfortunately lost. But we're hoping Kip is able to play the same way as he did the last time and use that matchup knowledge to hold this Sonic at bay, as he is currently doing as he gets the damage lead with 12% on Delaware and 0 for Shenandoah University.
Yeah, sending that Fire Hydrant over to Sonic, and another Fire Hydrant right there. 2 already being placed onto the stage. Gallagher looking to bounce off of that Fire Hydrant, send it towards Sonic. Nothing happens right there. Going grocery shopping again. Finds an orange, gets him with that. And now both players just in a weird spot on the edge of the stage. Fire Hydrant going to send Sonic off there for just a second, but now he's back. Galaga being thrown again. Neither player really getting much out of it. However, Kip hasn't taken much at any damage at all. Looking to keep Sonic towards the edge of the stage.
Yeah, Kip, like I was saying, just really forcing the Sonic. Sonic finally getting a grab in to do some damage. But Kip is saying, I like to play this way, so you're going to play this way with me. And Sonic just not able to make a fast enough adjustment, even though he is playing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, the bell right there, forcing Sonic to wait, hanging, dangling on the edge until he gets back up, looking for some damage here. Kip sitting at 20%. Sonic, though, at 132, getting real dangerous as that apple comes flying towards his way, but gonna get a grab onto Kip, get some more damage. Now he has the positioning, sends himself off the stage. Of course, he has recovered to get back on, but a mistake there, as soon as he gets back on stage, he loses a stock.
He gets something thrown right at his back, and, it's not often you see a star KO. Usually they hit the blast zone and they're gone instantly, but Kip able to take that extra moment to breathe with a star KO. But it seems they're just waiting?
Waiting? Maybe they're waiting for One Piece then, in which case we might be here for a while.
I think this is the One Piece.
This is the One Piece right here, what we're looking at right now?
Yeah, actually, if you didn't know, I'm Oda, so.
You're Oda? Okay. Well, I have a lot of questions for you after the stream then. you got a lot of answering you got to do.
But, I mean, as we see here, these two are just looking at each other. I mean, maybe they're trying to play some mind games.
Maybe some frustration here. Maybe just Kip, not even frustration, but Kip might just be like, okay, well, I can just sit. I'll just sit here. We have 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Once I start playing, I think I can take your 2 stocks in the amount of time I have left. But a fire hydrant just gonna get some damage there for Kip. A couple projectiles being thrown. Both players just waiting around, messing around, having a fun time here. You almost think they're at like a beach or something.
I don't really know if beach is the right word. They've just been kind of. I feel like they're looking at each other through the same glass or something. And right now, they're staring each other down, and it seems like Kip just has the meaner face with how he's putting this damage into this Sonic.
It's kind of like that. What is that? There's that one model movie from like the early 2000s. You know which one I'm talking about?
Absolutely not.
You don't know? Oh, any older people out there in the audience may know what I'm talking about. It's that scene of the 2 models like walking by each other, making funny faces. Here's Kip does a drop kick, sends Sonic over towards the edge of the screen, who now has to climb back up, and unfortunately climbs right back up. Yeah, Zoolander. Thank you, producer. Appreciate it. I know I explained that horribly, but I thought somebody would get it. Thankfully, our producer did. But in the meantime, Sonic has lost another stock due to a fire hydrant hitting him square in the face.
Yeah, I mean, having to sit there and just kind of look at your opponent is kind of a game plan I've never seen. A few years ago, I did compete in NACE myself on Academy Smash, and I had never seen anything like this. And even here, just watching it now in this Varsity game, it's pretty odd, watching your opponent just kind of stand there and look at you from the other side of the stage, and neither of you kind of going in, seeing who's gonna pull the trigger first. And right now, Kip up at 89%. Sonic is doing absolutely whatever he can, playing not in desperation, but trying to secure the stock to stop Kip's run.
Yeah, I mean, if their mental is feeling anything like ours, maybe a little bit of confusion, just trying to figure out like when do we move? When do I try to get closer? As a fire hydrant comes barreling across Kip's face there, he's going to go ahead and place another one just because he can. Finds the bell, but throws a key instead. Doesn't get anything from that fire hydrant. Now gone from the stage as a kick is going to send Kip towards the edge, and he gets back on into another kick square in the face. Now Kip looking for the right time to get back on, is going to use a shield to avoid any damage right there.
Yeah, I mean, now we're getting into a spot. Both of them last stock. But Kip says, do you remember the bell? I'm going to throw it at you. And this Sonic just not able to remember what was in the arsenal. I guess the shopping cart was just too full of stuff.
Yeah, Kip rung the bell that signified the end of that match right there. Going to take all 3 stocks from Taco Man 7 and keep the 1 stock that he still has left from the first player he played against this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing for Shenandoah. Kip still has his first stock from the first game, going in to take, I think, 9 stocks now as we're looking into this replay. Just playing absolutely perfect against the Sonic, as we see with that replay, throwing the fruit right into the back, getting the star KO.
Yeah, stuns just helping him out. That bell is doing work here. It's putting in work here for Kip tonight as, you see Sonic just jump right back on the ledge. Not at a great time. Gets hit by the fire hydrant, sent flying off the stage, loses another stock. And, of course, the bell, the thing we've seen all night. Wish we had a bell counter. Just stuns Sonic, and that forward smash finishes the job right there.
Yeah, and Shenandoah is in such a good spot now that, unfortunately, the only thing that Delaware can do is send in this Mega Man, and Shenandoah had a pretty hard battle as that Mega Man went in and reverse swept. So I'm very interested to see how, with us in such a better position, if we are able to take the stocks off of this Mega Man.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Delaware, they have to send in the second best Mega Man in the world. you know.
Unfortunately,
Obviously numbers-wise, Shenandoah is still sitting at 10 stocks and Delaware has 3. So on paper, Shenandoah doing a great job. I mean, they are doing a great job. Kip did take, 9 straight stocks. So it's like, feeling great. Momentum's looking good. But now you're facing the toughest battle of the night here as MPG comes in on Mega Man.
Yeah, and as we saw, MPG was really good at using that Leaf Blade to secure early kills, early stocks. We see Kip going in and dropping his stocks down to 1 as we get into, before it even starts, just a really tense match.
Yeah, Kip's going to try his best to at least take 1 stock here, make it easier on the rest of his team. But some projectiles are going to keep him away for now as he goes grocery shopping. Finds nothing, but gonna punch Mega Man from underneath the platform right there. Gets some damage. Both players sitting at around 12%. Going grocery shopping, projectiles being sent back and forth. They're in somewhat of a stalemate at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, usually like how they say in a lot of like FGC, there's just a lot of fireball war.
Yeah.
Projectiles hitting each other, staring at each other from the other side of the stage. Not too much happening until somebody's able to clip them. And as we see Kip here going in, getting the damage, but MPG real quick and says, I'm going to do damage right back to you and keeping it as even as he possibly can.
Yeah, the projectile of Mega Man's going to keep that orange away at least for now. Fire hydrant placed on the ground. Galaga now in hand here for Kip, who's going to get hit by some Mega Man projectiles, but sends one back towards Mega Man himself. Now, fire hydrant placed down on the ground. Razor Blade comes down. Kip just says, let me have that. Now he has it in his hands. Is he going to do anything with it? He's going to throw it over at Mega Man, who is not going to take any damage from that thanks to some shielding and some good plays there. Great spacing that time from the Mega Man, who's going to let Kip on stage just for now.
Yeah, I mean, this Mega Man is really, really playing into getting this 1 stock off of Kip, When you're against somebody who's 1 stock, you think in your head, all I have to do is take the 1. But Kip, playing for information, playing for this momentum for Shenandoah, will do whatever it takes to either take 1 and, push them forward.
Yeah, and he's getting real close, but it's dangerous position now as he's going to try to get back on stage. Mega Man using those leaves to keep him off just there for a second. Fire hydrant placed there. Kip going to dodge some projectiles, use some shield on some projectiles there for just a second, but going to get swung at and sent flying across the left side of your screen as he gets back on the stage, right into the face of some Leafs. Now trying to get back on the stage. He's having trouble getting back on, and unfortunately is going to lose his last stock here in game number 2.
Yeah, coming into that combo that I saw before, the Razor Blade going straight down into a back air. One of, if not, this Mega Man's most iconic kill combos.
Yeah, I mean, just stuff you'd expect there from MPG, the second best Mega Man in the world. But Kip honestly didn't really even have that bad of a showing. I mean, he came in with 1 stock and lost the 1 stock, didn't take any. But Mega Man getting up to 89%. They were going back and forth for a while there until, Kip just unfortunately, got sent off the stage that one time and not really able to find his positioning back on for very long. Every time he would come up, you just get hit by another combo from the Mega Man, or maybe some projectiles would keep him away from the middle of the stage. And then what you mentioned, the famous Mega Man combo is going to take that last stock there from Kip.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough matchup for a lot of the people that Shenandoah plays, A high projectile character going into a lot of more stubbier fighters. So, think of Willis Hazia, people who need to be very close. This Mega Man has shown that they are able to kind of jump around and play in a certain way that's you can't catch me, but I can still hit you. And maybe we'll see more of that as we head into this next game, with Shenandoah down to now their second out of all 4 of our fighters.
Yeah, Shenandoah now down to 9 stocks, and the University of Delaware is sitting at 3. Reiterating that both these teams have made playoffs because they have 3 wins, and that's what you need in a 7-team NACE conference. Now we're just fighting for seeding, essentially. And so this would be a huge win for either team to set themselves up with momentum and a better spot going into week 1 of NACE playoffs. But it's a tough one. I mean, you got to take 3 more stocks, and then you got to do it again, because right now, Shenandoah down 1-0 in the series. And, best of 3. It's going to be tough to climb out of that one if you go down another player. Then it's ooh, what's going on here?
Yeah, and especially with a player like this Mega Man, it can be very easy for Shenandoah to maybe get choked up a bit and then being pushed back on the back burner. We're hoping Shenandoah is able to come in, take these 3 stocks, and fight their way into the last game going in. We now have Wayne Blade coming in on this Pikachu as our second fighter.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you, how do you feel about, in general, the Pikachu and Mega Man matchup?
I think it's pretty odd. A lot of like I was saying, a lot of the things is, they have to get up close. Pikachu can kind of play in the middle with the T-Jolts that he can send out to cover his landing. And, we see Wayne Blade use that pretty well. But going straight in, this Mega Man using that Leaf Blade to get some damage in.
Yeah, and right now, Wayne Blade trying to fire back with some damage of his own, but that one's going to be blocked right now. He's struggling, trying to find his way in there. Like we mentioned, Mega Man has all these projectiles, but it's not going to stop. Wayne Blade getting a little bit of a combo there, getting some damage going right now, sitting at 36%, and Mega Man at 25 himself. And some electricity and more projectiles from Mega Man get sent towards each other. Both players vying for position on the stage.
Yeah, as we see, Pikachu just trying to kind of play the same way that the Mega Man is playing, trying to play further away and kind of force them to play into each other. And as we see, it's a lot slower of a game, at least in my eyes, too. But this Mega Man coming in with that double up air into the forward air off stage to take that stock within the first minute of the game.
Yeah, and, like I mentioned earlier, like, Shenandoah maybe having the look to play a little bit scrappier than they were before, and the Pikachu opting, at least at first, to play a little bit slower, try to build up damage over time, and at least take one stock here before he goes down. But it's not going to work if Mega Man can send all these projectiles at you and then just take all that damage so quickly and take that first stock now, as Wayne Blade's sitting at 52% with only 2 stocks left. Mega Man still with 3 himself, as Wayne Blade's going to use some electricity, get back onto stage, but going to get hit by those leaves.
Yeah, we may need to see a bit more kind of erratic gameplay from Shenandoah, switching up the playstyle, but the up tilt coming from the Mega Man, and that move just does so much damage on that first activation right where he swings, able to send Pikachu flying up. Delaware currently up in this current match with MPG 3 stocks and Wayne Blade down at his last.
Yeah, Wayne Blade's going to have to start firing back, switch it up just a bit as he's going to shield up, protect himself against those leaves, send out some electricity. They're going to swap sides at least for a second now. Those leaves getting sent back towards Wayne Blade's way. And now, struggling a little bit here to find anything. Mega Man doing a great job of playing defense and finding the damage when he can as he sends that Razor Blade out. Gets hit just barely with some electricity, but going to take more damage. Wayne Blade is as he gets back onto stage and not able to find much here with his last stock.
Yeah, this Mega Man just really keeping Wayne Blade at bay and playing his own game so strongly, having him run in and let Wayne Blade make the mistakes and sneaking his damage and right then and there, not playing too insanely offensive, but just enough offense to make him play desperately.
Yeah, Pikachu going to spin a few times, get some more damage on the Mega Man. This is what you want to see if you're a Shenandoah fan, using that electricity, getting even more. Mega Man sitting at 75%, uses that move to get over towards the middle of the stage, but takes some more damage here, getting still in a scary spot. Wayne Blade trying to get back on the stage, and it's going to lead to another stock being taken for Mega Man as Wayne Blade loses his last, and Shenandoah now down to 6 stocks.
Yeah, this Mega Man going right in for the exact things that he had did in the previous game, coming in as Delaware's ace and just taking it, heading straight in to these replays. We can see just how quickly he's able to secure these stocks, using his up B to go in, catch Wayne Blade at the top, using the second jump to get that forward air off stage.
Yeah, and Wayne Blade just trying to build up, a lot of damage over time with some poke stuff. Never really finding any big swings, never getting any, big combos, and not taking any stocks out of it. And as you can see, Mega Man just doing way more damage, way faster with all those projectiles, including the leaves that we saw there. End it for MPG, who's now going to go into the next fight against another Shenandoah player that I believe is going to be Eyes again on Corrin.
Yeah, and this is going to be a hard matchup. The last time we saw Eyes come out against MPG, it was another steamroll from MPG, taking all the stocks without even losing one. And, I'm pretty excited to see if Eyes is able to come in with the adjustment to hopefully take control of the momentum for Shenandoah.
Yeah, and, as you know a lot more about the ins and outs of Smash than I do want to ask, because Eyes is normally known for playing Palutena. So 2 questions I'll hit you with back to back. Why switch to Corrin in this matchup is the first one.
So I think switching the Corrin in this matchup get some added range. Though, on the other end, they do lose some things from Palutena. So a lot of the projectiles, Palutena does have a reflect and a counter built into her kit. Yeah. Although Corrin does have a counter, they don't have a reflect, meaning they can send out the projectile, bait the counter goes off, and still get a punish off. But maybe just the added range, as they don't have just a staff, but they have a full sword to swing at.
Yeah, and the second question I was going to ask, from the first game, I's not able to find any success there against the same player. What do you do differently this time, since they still picked Corrin here?
I would say, especially in this time, is just you need to change up the way you play. So, I personally play a lot of rushdown, like run you down, and almost in every game I play fast characters that take you out. So having a gameplay change, a game plan change, especially going in for different stuff, could be big. But we see Eyes here getting caught off stage, hopefully still has a jump and is getting edge guarded by this Mega Man and going in to take that early stock. 0 to death, Shenandoah down, a stop.
Yeah, unfortunately, Corrin, is not able to find their way back onto stage. Mega Man just chasing Corrin down off himself, and it's going to work wonders as Corrin loses their first stock here. Shenandoah is now at 5. This is getting a little scary. This is looking a lot like game number 1 here, but Corrin Eyes going to get some damage, getting some combos. Now edge guarding Mega Man this time around, who tries to use leaves to help him get back on the stage. Eventually does use the shield to get some space. Now sending some projectiles Eyes' way.
Yeah, I mean, we could see your Eyes really using those aerials. And as if you may not know, Corrin has pretty strong aerials. And Robot Ninja had said earlier that a lot of the times with Corrin, you get an up air into Dream, meaning you could do essentially almost anything else in the kit, and it'll land after landing an up air. And so that could be what Eyes is looking for, is to get a good combo to finish out a stock.
Yeah, and I mean, Mega Man sitting at 95%. Eyes doing a great job here, building up damage very quickly. Now looking to dodge that Razor, and now we're going to have to dodge the leaves, use the shield to get through that onslaught of attacks, that onslaught of projectiles from MPG, who is still keeping at it, not letting up on these projectiles.
Yeah, and as we're seeing from Eyes, maybe a bit slower of gameplay, just trying to understand what this Mega Man is doing, but now put in a bad situation, up being onto stage but not getting punished for it. This Mega Man is really just trying to mow Eyes down with both of them at kill percent. Any smash attack could kill, and the side B into the dash kick, able to take the first stock off of this Mega Man for Shenandoah.
Huge plays there from Eyes, takes Mega Man's first stock, now sitting at 2 stocks remaining here in game number 2. Now, if you're Eyes, let's hope we can see if we can get a second one, set Willie up for greatness, but, game not over yet. Sitting at 111%, trying to get back on the stage is Mega Man, and Corrin, who is going to get immediately thwacked upwards and loses another stock.
Yeah, once again, that strong up tilt coming out. Corrin was stuck in the animation of the forward smash, facing the entirely different direction, so the punish was just up to the discretion of MPG to take the stock however they could have wanted.
Yeah, and Eyes has to be a little careful because they were struggling. You get sent off stage with against the Mega Man, especially a Mega Man of this caliber. You're gonna struggle getting back on right now. So trying to play a little bit closer to the middle of the stage instead of on the edge. Gonna have to look to get back in there. Finally does, at least for a second. Shields, but takes some damage anyways, as they now sit at 95% after that huge combo there from MPG, who's using some projectiles to keep Corrin away. Now looking to get back on stage, not able to, and is going to lose their third stock, as Shenandoah now sitting at 3 stocks remaining compared to Delaware's 2.
Yeah, I mean, as we see MPG just absolutely trucking through whatever we throw at him. It's a very, very scary situation for Shenandoah now. They're both on to their last stock, but coming to these replays, this Mega Man just had such an offstage presence, just keeping Eyes exactly where he wanted them to secure these kills.
Yeah, just chasing Corrin off stage, chasing Eyes off stage. Eyes did, however, have a really good middle of the game there, able to take that one stock, make it a little easier, as we can assume Willie's coming in on either Kazuya or whoever else he might play here soon. But yeah, struggling to get back on stage and getting sent off there with another. Mega Man just has an entire arsenal. It's almost like he has, it's really funny. Like, people talk about how GTA is kind of like, realistically, if you think about it, you have like 5 million items just in your pockets.
Yeah.
That's what Mega Man kind of feels like.
Yeah, Mega Man just throwing a lot of things out right at once. Usually in the Mega Man games, he has to like fully change form as an entirely different color, but in Smash Bros. It doesn't matter.
Oh my goodness. We're getting a little bit of a spoiler right here. We're seeing who Willie is gonna end up playing.
Minecraft Steve.
Oh my God.
So we back in the mine, as they could say.
Yeah, we are back in the mine here. Shenandoah Esports here yearning for the mines as Willie is already placing that crafting table down. Taunts set this match ready to go. Already getting edge guarded the leaves there, but using the minecart to get back on stage, get some damage, swinging his wooden tools around.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a matchup for the ages. I mean, you think about it, you got Jack Black on the stage fighting this Mega Man, and MPG is just really, I guess he might hate the Minecraft movie and might hate Minecraft in general with the way he is racking this damage up on Willie early game.
Yeah, who's now building a wall between Mega Man and himself, looking to get some more materials right here, using that dirt to try and get some of that. Crafting table gets placed, but gets sent off the edge, and using those wings to get back on, and we go back to the crafting.
And here we are. We've moved up to stone tools, guys.
Let's go. Achievement successful.
I don't know what achievement that is in Minecraft, but Willie just got it. But what is going on?
Using TNT, he gets back onto the stage from out of nowhere, straight into a huge hit there from the Mega Man, who's going to take Willie's first stock. Now sitting at 2v2. Now remember here, University of Delaware has won game number 1, so if they win here, they are on series point.
Yeah, and as we can see here, if you look right above Steve's damage, you can see his materials right now, and that is a pretty bad thing to be at. Right now, he only has 4 blocks to be using, and needs to use some time to mine to catch up to materials to be able to fight with the right things. He won't be able to place blocks or put down a minecart. Yeah, if he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, gonna have to waste that shield to not take too much damage there from the bomb. But now sitting at 138%, gets ricocheted off his own block, which saves him, ironically. And now getting back on, placing some blocks, using that minecart to get some space there on the stage, waiting out the projectiles from Mega Man. Gonna go ahead and mine, get some more, getting those materials. Gonna have more ammo for some more blocks. And now we're making some bigger walls. Looking for a setup, minecart setup here. Sends himself across the stage and finds a pickaxe hit. Now looking to edgeguard Mega Man, but gets ricocheted off his own block. Now in a bad spot, using the minecart to get across the stage.
But now he has no material. And this is just such a volatile match. Minecraft Steve is just such a character, but having nothing in the material bar only spells badness for Shenandoah.
Yeah, it's a lot like grocery shopping, except now you're just hitting the ground a lot, looking for some more materials, trying to be able to place more blocks, get even better materials. Sends a minecart Mega Man's way, just jumps over it. Now we are at Diamond.
Boom,
he has the diamond
found.
tools. Mega Man is at 144%, but you're still going to have to hit him if you want to take another stock.
Yeah, and I mean, we see with these diamond tools doing more damage and a lot more knockback, all Willie has to do is sneak in a cheeky aerial to take a stock, but this Mega Man holding his stock at 144, just not letting it happen.
Yeah, taking that bomb hit, however, going to do some more damage. Willie sitting at 71%, 1 stock remaining, doing some more crafting. Gets the minecart, but gets blocked right there. Now sending them another minecart Mega Man's way, using the magma block there to protect himself for the time being. Using the minecart, going to try to bait the jump. Gets the jump, but unfortunately whiffs there on the swing.
Yeah, I mean, this is some very scary gameplay from the both of them. Now that they're both at a spot to where a stock can be taken just with about any attack, and we see Willie dodging and weaving, just trying not to get caught by anything big, and this Mega Man finally the one that has to give chase in this game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, and those leaves are going to send Willie into those blocks that he placed himself. Now looking to break them and get underneath Mega Man, waiting for him to fall back down on stage, but the movement going to keep him away from Willie. Gets another hit. Now Willie looking to get back on the stage, uses the minecart, but runs straight into a swing, which almost kills him, but he gets back. Never mind. Just going to get sent straight down into the nether, unfortunately. As Steve, Willie loses their last stock, and Shenandoah goes down here 2-0 against the University of Delaware.
Yeah, I mean, it was entirely different game. Going in with the Steve instead of the Kazuya, though, was allowing for Willie to just do a bit more damage and tried to almost seal out that stock when he played Kazuya into this Mega Man. It was just not the greatest move. He was having to chase around, but now both of them played very, very cheeky, as I like to say. Not as straightforward as many other people, so we saw a lot in that match. Unfortunately, University of Delaware takes it over Shenandoah in the series.
Yeah, as we saw right there, Willie able early on to get a lot of damage just off of setting the minecart over towards Mega Man, either baiting a jump or just getting damage off of that, and then, following up with some attacks. But eventually Mega Man realized, wait, I have like 50 million projectiles. I could just space this out, get damage over time, and then get some big swings if Willie, sends himself in reckless regard straight into Mega Man's face, and that ended up spelling the end there for Shenandoah Esports.
Yeah, and I mean, when playing Steve, you got to really watch out for your materials, and I think that Mega Man really played into that fact, letting Willie run out and spend all he had in his pockets, and then going in and finishing off whatever he could, while Willie did not have as much to fight back or use any of his abilities.
Yeah, unfortunately, we fall short there in that one. And that is going to spell the end of our NACE regular season. I actually think that's we have a competition coordinator in the back. I think that's the end of the regular season for every league except for CFGC, which you're doing great. Let's talk about that for a second. I don't want to end on too low of a note. We did have a fun time there watching Steve, but you're doing absolutely wonderful here in Tech and looking like you might be able to make the LAN.
I mean, yeah, as some people say, I'm cooking with the sauce pretty hard in Tekken, in D1 top 16. Unlike everybody else, I've got another 2 to 3 weeks of competition, but I mean, it's just insane. But, got to take it where you get it. Shenandoah really came out to play tonight, and honestly, regardless of losing to that Mega Man, we saw a lot, and we saw a lot of new play, especially from Willie himself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've ever watched him in an official match on Steve. So that was just really fun because, I mean, I know every Smash player despises Steve with like a burning passion within their heart. But, like, I'm not playing, so I can have fun watching. It's really fun just watching them right there. Falls just short as we're going to go ahead and take a look at these head-to-head stats from the series.
So, as we can see here, total stocks taken from Delaware to Shenandoah. Shenandoah with 19 total stocks, and Delaware with 24 total stocks lost. Of course, making sense with the first two stats being flip-flopped, 24 to 19. But they had kind of an even ratio of stocks taken and stocks lost. And as we can kind of see, quick update. Not as even, as I said, 0.79 stocks taken and lost for Shenandoah, and 1.26 for Delaware Esports.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it. It was the second game was just the first game, again. It was a few, I think Kip took a few extra stocks, if I remember correctly, in the second game, and then Eyes even took a stock off of MPG there in the second one. But speaking of MPG, we're going to go ahead and take a look at tonight's series MVPs for both teams, as we can see Kip and MPG for their respective teams.
Yeah, so as we see here, Kip taking a amazing 16 stocks, regardless of MPG, of course, taking the 18, getting the win for Delaware Esports. Kip, once again, doing what he does best, taking stocks. Unfortunately, losing a lot more stocks, but even then, like I was saying, taking in a lot more stocks.
Yeah, I mean, Kip able to take care of the first three players, but once the second best Mega Man in the world comes in, it's going to be hard to fight back against that, as kind of just one man showed and ended up winning the University of Delaware this matchup. Tough loss for Shenandoah going into the playoffs, but they still made them. Going to be a lower seed. We lost to Delaware. Now that's going to put us at 3-3 with an 8-7 game record, if I remember correctly. Our wins coming against Grand Valley State University, TAM USA, Texas A&M, There's 5 million Texas A&M's, my bad. Siena Heights, and then getting losses against the University of South Florida, Wichita State, and what you just saw, the University of Delaware. And unfortunately, unable to make NACC playoffs as they're going to end the regular season there with a 1-6 series record and a 5-12 game record there in 7th place, unfortunately. But speaking of playoffs, I'm going to go ahead and go over some of our teams and who's made it so far. Our Smash team made NACE playoffs. Our Rocket League team has made NECC Division III playoffs and NACE playoffs themselves over there in Varsity Premier. Our Marvel Rivals team, I think, clinched playoffs just this week, which is fantastic. Congratulations to them. I don't know if they clinched it. Maybe some math to be done, but actually, no, they did. I actually had a conversation. Sorry, I'm like talking to myself right now. But, still more action to come. That will do it, though, for the regular season. My producer mentioning COD again. That's a fake team. We don't have a Call of Duty team. Not real. Unfortunately, I wish we still did, but we don't. I think that's going to be it. Do you have any words of wisdom? Maybe anybody want to shout out before we end off the stream here?
I mean, I guess no shout outs today, but I guess a word of wisdom is to just keep fighting through that slump. We're all hitting playoffs at around the same time, and it's probably really hard to push through and want to keep playing the game you've been competing with for probably a semester and a half now, but just really push through no matter what you're doing and see where that takes you.
Yeah, wise words there from Ja. And, from me, all I'm going to say is play Final Fantasy, any of them. But that's besides the point. That's going to do it for our stream tonight. Make sure to follow Shenandoah University Esports on all of our socials, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, the like, X, excuse me, caught myself. Tomorrow, we're going to bring you another episode of The Buzz Down at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern. But for now, from all of us at Shenandoah University Esports, goodbye and good night.
We have the Esports Arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry, so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth, where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the Esports Arena is the Esports War Room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu.
It all